So The Rock turned heel officially on SmackDown this week, joining the Bloodline, throwing up his ones in the form of like an L. And a lot of people are talking about his heel promo, the first promo he cut in this new persona of his, which is very much a throwback to like corporate era Rock, 1998, 1999 Rock, where he told the arena there that they've set a new attendance record for being trailer park trash, and he called somebody a fatty, and then he was going to slap the herpes off their mouth. And so, of course, everybody's talking about it. Seen some positives and seen some negatives, but what's most important to me is what you guys think. And so, of course, I put up a community thread so we can talk about your guys' takes. The hotter, the better. And when I talk about your takes, I'll give you mine. So let's go ahead and dive into it. First up, Right Now and Later says The Rock's heel turn promo and joining the Bloodline felt like his heel turn when he joined the Nation of Domination. I just looked at that. I just watched that promo because I saw this in advance of doing this video, and I was like, "Oh, really? Is it? Yeah, it's got there's some shades of it there." I thought that's a pretty good point that you're making right here, and yeah, I kind of agree with it. Jaden Sin says, "I'm here for it. This is already so much better than boring face Rock leading arenas and boring you're an asshole chants." This side says this side says asshole. I agree. I like this. Look, I do agree. Some of these takes here, I'll get to like some of their points, but it was a bit on the directionless side. It was just like, okay, go out there and tell them in your $500 vest or $1,800 vest now. Go out and let them know that you're a bad Rock now. But I'm here for it, man. It's probably going to be pretty entertaining stuff. I love this one here. Oh, fuck. Mason Stuckey says The Rock came out dressed like Ricky Starks, and a lot of y'all agreed with that. I love this because obviously people say that Ricky Starks bears a resemblance to The Rock, and it's kind of clear that Ricky Starks has pulled a lot of his inspiration for his character from that old 1998, 1999 version of The Rock, but put his own spin on it. And so this is funny. A lot of you like this one, so I'm going to point it out. JPS 47 says The Rock looks so out of place with the Bloodline, but in a good way. You can tell this won't last past Mania. This has the potential to be incredibly entertaining because The Rock now being sort of really obnoxious Rock, wearing the loud Versace clothes and all that, and being, you know, what he used to be. Contrast that to what Roman Reigns does, and the two things, I don't know if the two things will fit. It's one thing when we got The Rock from the press conference where he's just sort of like, hey, I've got a lot of power here. I'm kind of a prick because I think my way should go. I'm kind of surprised we got this sort of overtly heel Rock, this complete and total throwback to 98 and 99. I'm kind of surprised they didn't just sort of double down. But I kind of also feel that The Rock just wants to do this. He's like, hey, if I'm going to go heel, we're going to bring back the heel that everybody wants to see, the guy who would call people trailer park trash. Hamish says Roman couldn't hold his face from laughing at what The Rock was wearing and calling the crowd. Paul Heyman was staring at The Rock looking so confused without laughing. Steve, you're correct. Cody's getting screwed at Mania by The Rock. I kind of feel like, because I've seen a lot of conspiracy theories about, and I think somebody here in the community tab placed it as well, that The Rock was like sort of pointing at Roman when he was talking about losers. He was pointing at the Bloodline, calling people entitled. And people are saying that this is double agent Rock and he's actually going to help Cody. And that's going to be, this is the beginning of him and Roman's story, but that means it's actually the beginning of the story where they feud and end up at WrestleMania 41. So that's a possibility as well. Here it is, Senor Alien. Always a good comment from Senor Alien. Says, if you look closely at the end of SmackDown, The Rock gave a guns up. When the Bloodline put up the ones, I sense a swerve coming. The Rock actually joined the Bang Bang Gang. Well, that's a different company completely, but, you know, you're halfway there for sure. AJ Forsyth says, this is exactly what the story needed for me to be intrigued. This could honestly be the best run by Dwayne probably since he left originally. Yeah, he hasn't done a lot of cool stuff since he left originally, but the exception, I don't know. I'll be honest, the John Cena stuff I thought was pretty good, but mainly there was like John Cena and CM Punk during their various promos against The Rock were really, really good. The Rock wasn't great, but at least he was somewhat invested in it. But yeah, this could be the best stuff that we get. The idea of big money Hollywood Rock checking the champion Roman Reigns and getting on Roman's last nerve. What if Roman's still in the center couch and Rock like kicks his feet up on the side couch? That could be hilarious. Drew Curry says this feels like the first time in a long time the WWE's actually listening to the fans and giving us more than we expected. If it's true that, and I kind of feel like it is now, if it's true that The Rock and his crew and his team saw the reaction and pivoted, that's really cool. That's like, okay, well, we're not going to shove this down the fans' throats. We're going to actually give them what they want. I like that. I appreciate that. Here it is. Kyle Miller says Rock 100% pointing at Roman during his statement about using power to stop him. Could be onto something there, people. Andrew6177 says, I feel like there's more to The Rock saying Cody's story is ending and his and Roman's is beginning. Again, you guys could be onto something. Mobley says this is random, but The Rock should fight Gunther. Mobley, why didn't you expand on this one? Why should he fight Gunther? I don't know. I don't know if The Rock these days could handle a Gunther match, man. Those things are pretty brutal. Those are pretty physical, Mobley. Oh, here you go. B. York says The Rock said greatest duo. He's going to force out Solo and Jimmy and possibly Heyman. Ooh, maybe. Maybe. I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see how Solo reacts to The Rock, because The Rock could be a lot. And if The Rock tries to get, oh my God, could you imagine if The Rock tries to get Solo to break? Ooh, that might be too much. Elemental Giant says you're right about Cody's losing at Mania. I don't know. With a lot of the conspiracy theories I've seen so far, with the thumbs up, guns up, with pointing at loser, with the entitled, all that kind of stuff. I don't know. Maybe Rock, I think Rock might actually help Cody now. Should I cut a new video? Should I make a new video? I'm like, Cody's totally going to win now. All right, a lot of thumbs up on this one. Daryl Homer says heel Rock is the best way to go. However, his promo doesn't make sense if Cody didn't win the Rumble and was just complaining about wanting to face Roman. He'd have a point. Cody literally earned the shot. I agree with that. And a lot of people have pointed out that Rock has says, you know, what you do, you take your licks like a man and you move away. I wonder if he was getting a little bit meta with the whole situation of Cody had stepped aside. He had let The Rock in, and now he's pitching a fit and he wants back in. I understand. I'm just sort of trying to get the benefit of the doubt here, but yeah, I kind of feel that, but it's also arrogant, you know, sort of prick Rock. So he doesn't necessarily have to make sense, but yeah, no, I feel a lot of people are pointing out that The Rock is sort of missing that Cody actually earned his way back into the main event of WrestleMania, which is all those NBA teams have to do. They got to earn their way back into the finals, which I think I don't know if the Jazz did that. Did the Jazz get there once, or I think the Jazz only got there once, didn't they? John Dope Not Doe says Versace vest Rock is the best. This will be the greatest Rock yet. I will be honest, I popped big when I saw the Versace vest. When that's what he came out to, I was like, okay, all right, this is gonna be this is gonna be fun. And even when he said, got good news, we set a new attendance record here, I was like, oh, he's not gonna say this is a good thing. This is gonna be a bad thing. And he said it's the greatest. Oh man, I don't care. This shit's entertaining, man. Damon Harden said the reasons behind decisions of everyone make less sense in the Game of Thrones ending. Yeah, well, you know what? As long as you're entertained, right? And that matters. Aisha says we got a $5,000 vest Rock on top of that. A new era since he changed the name from the Bloodline to Los Bloodlines. Throwing up the L's. Here we go. This could be an actual hot take here. Dream Crazy says, thank you, Rock, for coming back and saving us from Cody's boring got to finish the story for my dad. Cody doesn't deserve to finish the story when the Bloodline story is just getting started. I feel like this might be a Dwayne Johnson burner account. Kawasaki has a good point here. He says, for being a long gamer, I feel like this was rushed. I don't know if I buy heel Rock joining the Bloodline a week after he wanted to kick Roman's ass. I think he meant maybe more in a general sense, in that we're not going to get Rock versus Roman Reigns until 41. Yeah, 41. And that maybe he's planning on sticking around for a while, for like, you know, a couple of years to do big Mania matches. I don't really see him coming back at SummerSlam, but certainly do some Mania matches over the next couple of years. Gustavo says, I don't like the way they pose in the ring in the end. Could have been framed better. There was space. There was. which might have been intentional, but also it totally reminded me of Wrestling News Now thumbnails. I Am Brick says he looked goofy in that vest. The Rock feels like he's trying to manufacture the old Hollywood gimmicks and harp on nostalgia of the Attitude Era heel Rock instead of presenting a new authentic portrayal of a modern heel Rock. Yeah, but here's the thing. It was entertaining and pretty funny. That's kind of all I care about. I kind of agree with that. I think that there is a more menacing version of The Rock that we saw backstage. I thought for sure he was going to show up on SmackDown and trying to big league Triple H. Triple H, talk shit about The Rock this past week on Raw, last week on SmackDown, whatever it was, whenever it was. And this week I kind of fully expected Rock to exercise some of that TKO board of directors power. But he didn't do that. Instead, he wore a fancy vest and called everybody fatties and trailer park trash. Ooh, the Dark and Mystery says Roman Reigns doesn't have enough presence to be shoulder with shoulder with The Rock. He is the Uso of The Rock. This is actually a really good point. I do kind of feel like they need to be careful with that because Roman needs to look like he can stand toe-to-toe with The Rock. I feel like they will get there because clearly they're going to feud and Rock is going to want to make Roman look good. Eventually, and it's going to be one of those moments like when Jay said, I don't give a shit what the tribal chief thinks. It's going to be one of those moments where Roman has enough of The Rock, and I'm here for that because I think at that point it's going to be like, oh my God, Roman is not happy with The Rock right now. I want to see that feud play out, and Rock's going to sell whatever Roman is cooking, man. I'm looking forward to that. But I kind of feel like you're right. But here's the thing. The Rock is super jacked. Not exact. Look, you can't be that jacked and sort of be in ring shape, I feel. Although I guess he was during the Cena matches. He was huge. Roman's not that. Not a lot of people are that. So just physically speaking, but also Rock is Rock. He's Hollywood. He's like the biggest star in the entertainment business right now. So I don't know. It's difficult for anybody to have that kind of presence. But once they start interacting more and bouncing off each other, I think that's when you'll start to see it. I hope anyways. Anthony Scully says Roman wearing hoodies makes him look underwhelming and so regular. They really should do a segment where Rock brings him a $5,000 shirt. It says here, put this on, jabroni. And then Roman's like, okay. So he wears that and he's like, this isn't really my thing. I want Roman branded hoodies. We'll end on this one. Cool Fresh Guy says, hot take. The Cody Bloodline story has been a hot mess and somehow it's becoming the best thing yet. It was entertaining. I really enjoyed what we got, but I agree with this. This is a mess. It is an absolute mess, but it's kind of a really fun mess. And I'll be honest with you, it is very refreshing to see so many people tuned in to WWE wrestling right now. It feels like, between it being referenced on the Joe Budden show, Tyrese Halliburton mentioning it on, I forget what show, on Pat McAfee's show, how the Pacers are all talking about it. The WWE title making the rounds with a bunch of celebrities there at the Super Bowl and Adam Silver wearing the thing. And you see all these celebrities. It feels like they're sort of butting their way back into relevancy right now. And you love to see it. I love to see it because more people watch my shit then. Anyways, that's going to do it for Hot Takes. Thanks everybody for your hot takes. I appreciate it. I got this new rug, right? And she's obsessed with it. It's very soft. She don't like being on the couch anymore. She just loves rug. Hey, what are you doing? What are you doing? Hi, Mama. Anyways, hit that subscribe button. We'll see you guys around.